The American Negro is an invention. He innovates and endarkens our innermost visions of the human species. The American Negro is an intervention. He is interdisciplinary and interstellar, intellectually amphibious, indiscriminately savage. Indeed, the American Negro is, on average, quite humorous, if only indirectly. Most often, he is more so akin to automata, a kind of rudimentary artificial intelligence in its infancy. Even still, the American Negro is, in most cases, indefatigable, an infinite resource, his anguish infinitesimal, his aspirations indiscernible. Just imagine, an invincible apparition, an invaluable addition to the instruments in the shed. The indomitable soul of the Negro is an impulse toward abolition, some dead man somewhere wrote in a book that I once read. Off with his head, they said. They said books were the way through the brook of fire blackness was. So my boys and I steeped ourselves in whatever Ivy League library shelves lent us in our late teens, early 20s, until we sparkled proper articulate doctor of philosophy, masters, pastor, preacher, poet, scholar of arts and human sciences, trained by institutional schemes geared towards certain kinds of compliance, aesthetic and otherwise. My brothers shine brightest when the lights are on. Politics honed by threat and adoration. Theft of language named primary education, named home training, named lower your tone, don't say that, about the ones who love you enough to put up with such arrogance as a matter of course. Of course you are martyr, messiah, gangster, never survivor, son, somebody's baby boy beyond the age of 5 or 6. You see the signs of life you cannot ever own. You know the way it is. You know the way it was back then. Futility in any direction, we figured. Unless you hooped or had bars like X or J, a recording booth you could use to spin those imagined lines of verse, urgent as the discourse of markets that would one day dart across our screens into poetry no one knew by that name. Or lawyers, perhaps, since we cherished argument above all other forms. Or preachers like my uncle, who drove a midnight blue Mercedes, spoke with a voice that was its own object and force, solid as the side of a destroyer. Never let them say we were aimless. Amidst Hennessy altars and tall teas adorned with faces of boys made ancestors by casual misunderstandings, we cast images into the air of lives we had only heard tell of via network TV, contraband lyrics pulled from dial-up sessions that lasted hours before parents came home to kick us off the line, jettison the crew, back into worlds where words had an irrevocable heft to them and we were mortal again and anonymous no longer. Several notches above anonymous, Ella Fitzgerald hails from Yonkers. We shed the 2 train, kept our debt. Middle class intentions fail in Yonkers. I left, wrung my hands, got a therapist. Medicated heads prevail in Yonkers. Whole Foods does not compute. Even our hunger is loyal. It's 1999. No Jamba Juice or kale in Yonkers. My father is a star. Prayed the pews to tears last week. Once his love, it lifted me. Then my faith in blood grew frail. In Yonkers, I bloomed. A manageable stain. Bodies falling maim the night. Fistfights gone off the rails. We have no sense of scale in Yonkers. The letter flew like a ghost in a ghost costume through the front door. A scholarship. My last piece of mail in Yonkers.